Hello and welcome to JCPod. I'm your host, Jaden Chandler Parnell, and man, I was so excited to talk about the Aaron Rodgers news and everything to start off the show, but nah, we got something even better to start off the show. And you know what I say, man. We're going to hop right into it. First off, for those of you who don't know, who are new to my channel, I'm a Miami Heat fan. Been a Heat fan for a long time. Basically, first official team I fell in love with was Miami Heat. Man, that's not the point of this. The point of this is Jimmy Butler. 56 points. Heater up 3-1. I mean, sheesh. That's what we're talking about, baby. I'm absolutely shocked. From the playing team that I was so mad when they lost the, when they lost the Celtics, I mean, man, they actually had a chance to beat the Celtics. Why do they have to play the damn Bucks? Like, man, and I was just sitting there, like, they're probably going to lose now, this and that. Nah, Jimmy said, give me that. Playoff Jimmy's a real thing, man. I mean, sheesh. I can't get over that game last night. Also, side note, we're going to get the NFL news, by the way. It's usually what we do on the Tuesdays. We're just going to straight to the NFL news, and we will in a second. I just have to shout out these two games because they're amazing. Like I said, Jimmy Butler had a really, really awesome game last night. He had 56 points, set a Heat franchise record for playoff or regular season. Heater up 3-1 against the Bucks. Let's go, baby. And then, for the other half, so there's one half of my boys, there's the Heat. For my actual boy, LeBron James, 22-20. Woo! LeBron had himself a game, man. 22-20, first time in his career in like 1,600 games. Almost 1,700 because it's like 1,690. Man, bro. What a game. I mean, there was some good NBA basketball on yesterday. We had some very fun, exciting games. For the Heat one specifically, too, the Heat had like a 27-10 run, I think, at one point. Lebron at least a 13-0 run. Man, what a game yesterday. And as a fan, it has me so excited. My Heater up 3-1. LeBron James up 3-1. I'll just watch both of my boys move on. It's pretty cool. So yeah, now on top of the Will Levis jersey, assuming that Will Levis gets drafted by the Colts, I'll be getting this week. I think I got to get a Jimmy Butler jersey. I've been putting it off for so long. I just haven't done it, and I think now it's officially time. I think it's time to get that jersey, man. But yeah, like I said, we're going to hop right in NFL. Basically, right now, I first just wanted to open up the show with that big news because, yeah, Jimmy Butler, man, I still can't get over that. 56 points. Bro had 56 points. Yeah, man. Let's go, baby. Heat hopefully will be able to close with the series here soon, and if they do, hey, my team's moving on to the second round. Very, very interesting after the way I thought they were going to be dead. But yeah, like I said, that's enough NBA talk. Shout out to the Heat. Shout out to Jimmy. Man, I want to let the MFer fly. Jimmy MF in buckets. Shout out LeBron James for the 20-20. Between you and me, I also had a little bit of wagers on those, so let's go. But yeah, no, basically in the big news now, the Jets. The Jets. We're going to get in the NFL news now. The Jets have finally have been able to get a deal with the Packers. So now we got a new moving around situation. So the Jets will receive the 4-time MVP, a 2023 first-round pick, which is the 15th overall, and a 5th-round pick from the Packers in exchange for the 2023 first-rounder. So they're going from 13 to 15. Packers get the 13th now. And the Packers also get a second-round pick and conditional 2024 second-round pick. That can become a first if Rodgers plays 65% of the snaps. So they're probably getting 2024 first, but it's about time they agreed to compensation. It was going on for a while that they've been trying to. And they just weren't able to. Went back and forth for a while as well. And finally they were able to get a deal through. And they were finally able to, I guess, just discuss between the two what they needed. And hey, we have a whole new era on us. I am excited. It's draft week as well. I haven't even got a chance to mention that because this is big Aaron Rodgers news. I mean, it's a big week. There is a lot more that's probably going to happen too in this football world because of the draft week. Now, will it happen the next upcoming days? I don't know. It'll probably happen more around the draft day, a little bit after, but we're going to do a big, big time in the NFL world. And yeah, I just can't get over the fact that Aaron Rodgers traded. It was literally like 4 o'clock yesterday, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock on a Monday, just chilling, draft week, and all of a sudden, boom. Because yesterday morning, it was basically released that they were talking to Aaron Rodgers about Aaron Rodgers, the Jets and Packers, where they just were talking again after the weekend of talk. So obviously, I think they talked this week, and if they were able to, it literally came out at 1 or 2 o'clock that Jets and Packers are talking again, and by like 4 o'clock, he's a Jet. Crazy. So, yeah, I'm very excited for my division breakdowns and everything. The way I see it is it's basically going to be a 2 month segment where basically, like, for example, I don't know if I want to do it on the episode themselves and make it extra episodes, for example, like a Wednesday episode, or they're going to be the Thursday episodes. But the plan is like to break down every division. So, like, for example, the end of May, it might, for the 1 week in each May, it might be like AFC North, AFC South, AFC East, AFC West, and NFC North, South, East, West the next month. But I'm really excited to get to this Jets team now. Like, they got some. This is going to be a sneaky little team now. I mean, man, it's so dope. But yeah, side note for that thing, I'm probably planning on doing that about, I want to say, I might do it honestly, like sometime after the draft. We might start in May. The thing is like, I might wait a little longer because like the earlier I do it, the quicker it can become out of date as well. But the quicker I do it, also the quicker I can get the information to you. So maybe like if people want to do, because I'm gonna be doing my future search through here soon too. I have the whole NFL deep dive in here too. I'm just debating how early I want to do it because I don't want to do it too early and then all of a sudden, like for example, I don't want to start with like the NFC West and then like 2 weeks from now and then all of a sudden 2 weeks after I make that, Brock Purdy's healthy after I just said Trey Lance is probably gonna be a starter for 20 minutes and then just situations like that. I'm just trying to avoid that the best I can, but we'll get to that more towards like probably a week or two. I'll probably touch on that a little bit more, just because. All right. Yeah. So apparently the 49ers aren't shopping Trey Lance. I'm sure they're listening. I think it's one of those situations. Well, they're saying like there's a lot of smoke. They don't know how true it is or not. I think it's just going to depend on like Brock Purdy news. I don't think they know fully if Brock Purdy is healthy yet or not either. So I think it's very smart by their end not to shop him until they know what they got in Brock Purdy yet. Because yeah, he could still miss some of next year. I still think that I'm still thinking about how a trade would go between the Texans and the 49ers. I'm not fully sure if they would still do it, but D'Amico Ryan has to see Trey Lance play some, but I don't know, man. The whole second pick when it comes to the Texans too, that's going to be a huge talking point. I still don't know who they're going to get. I mean, there's so much weirdness going there. So the 49ers not trading Trey Lance, so I mean that's not the most shocking. I just don't know what they're going to do, man. Now that they got Brock Purdy, they basically have a decision to make, and I am very interested to see if Brock Purdy becomes healthy before the start of the season, if they're more willing to change their stance. Hurts was talking about his contract. He said the money is nice, but championship better. Good mindset. I mean, you expect that to come from your quarterback, but I think usually some people's like, they're just saying that. I think he truly means it, but I'm very excited to see how the Eagles are going to do. They have a lot of bouncing back to do after last season. They were so close. So I'm interested to see, especially with losing some of the pieces, how they do. The Titans have downplayed Henry's trade rumors. No one's called about him. I don't know how true that is. I bet you at least one or two teams have maybe called for him. But yet again, with the whole running back market, like nobody could have. Running backs are getting older. And by running backs, I mean he, as a running back, is getting older, and the older running backs are not getting the money. I mean, Dante Foreman, $2 million deal after having an amazing season. Austin Eckler tried to get traded, and nobody really wanted him, so he ended up back there. I believe that is how kind of like the whole Austin Eckler situation. I mean, you're seeing it. The running backs just aren't getting the market that everybody else is right now. They're the last skill position that really needs, like, when it comes to the money situation, like. The linemen get somewhat paid, but not all of them are getting paid like that. But the quarterbacks, offensive-wise, quarterbacks are getting paid, wide receivers are getting paid, tight ends are starting to finally get up there. The running backs are the last one to go, really. So, it's not shocking that it's getting downplayed, but for the most part, I just don't know, man. I just don't know what's going to happen with Derrick Henry. I think he probably stays. I don't think he's probably going to go anywhere, especially because after they got rid of A.J. Brown, Vrabel's not very happy, so I'd say they would probably keep their guy. Cardinals, this has to do with the Cardinals report. I don't know exactly enough about the situation, but the Arizona Cardinals and owner Michael Bidwell deny they are liable to the front office executive Terry McDonough for any claims he made against the team, demanding for arbitration, saying erratic behavior eventually damaged his career. Basically, the only reason I want to bring this up is the Arizona Cardinals are a mess right now. In the front office and up top, and that's just very concerning. It's man, they're really a mess right now. Makes me wonder, especially with that pick now. Like their pick could get traded out too. Like the Cardinals are just a mess, honestly. I don't know what they're gonna. They're just a messy franchise right now. They're in the need for some change up top for sure, and it's been long enough. They probably just need to they just need to fix it basically. They just need to have a little fixing to do up top. I'm not going to get into it. I think a lot, especially if you NFL fans know. I'll get into it when I go over their team when it comes to that point. But yeah, they've got some fixing. The Giants signed Ashawn Robinson days before the NFL draft. I guess I read the whole article tagline. I didn't need to. Yeah, but they basically signed the Ashawn Robinson, which basically, I mean, the only reason I'm bringing that up is the Giants probably won't get a D tackle now in the draft. So, just curious. I mean, they might still, but they're just adding some depth, much needed depth. The Raiders GM is open to drafting QB competition for Garoppolo. I think that's going to happen if they get C.J. Stroud. I think C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young for them are bust. I think that's the rumor that's coming out. So if C.J. Stroud doesn't drop to like 3 or 5 somewhere where they can trade up to him, I don't think the Raiders touch him at all. I think they just move on from that point. That's basically what I've been hearing, though. I could be wrong, but it basically sounds like, yeah, C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, or no QB draft for the Raiders. The Falcons released Casey Hayward after 1 year. I'm assuming he just didn't have the best of years. Smedley through a 2-year deal. He only lasted 6 games before season ending shoulder injury, which I thought. I mean, I didn't even remember him being on the team. That's why I was like, man, he was there for a year. And it's just it's going to be interesting to see where he goes. After they signed Okuda, I guess it makes sense to let him go since he's a little older. Breeze says the Saints are well positioned to make a run at it with Carr. We'll see. I mean, I'm not going to start any beef with Derek Carr or anything. I need to see it. We'll see how he does. I mean, we'll just see how he does. The big news that I haven't got a chance to, the NFL suspended players for the whole gambling and everything. I'm not going to name them players. There's no need to at this point. I think the media's done well enough on that. But the biggest one, I will name one. The biggest one is Jamison Williams, and he is only suspended 6 games because he made it sound like he bet on like college basketball in the NFL facility. And the big reason I want to bring this up is I bet you a lot of NFL players had no idea you couldn't bet in the facility, or you couldn't bet in the you couldn't I'm sure they kind of knew and they probably knew or heard about it, but I just wonder if it's one of those rules because they said no gambling in NFL and this and that, but are they clear in the rules that you couldn't bet in the building? I mean, you probably shouldn't, thinking smartly, but now they know. Some people are suspended for a year. It sucks for those other receivers because I don't know what it comes to. Stanley Berry, the other teammates were Stanley Berryhill, Quintez Cephas, and C.J. Moore, and then Shaka Toney from the Commanders received it. Some of those guys might not play in the NFL again just due to, being afford who you can afford to be. Like Calvin Ridley, first-round pick, really, really good. Somebody's probably going to pick him up after his little slip-up. When you go later in the draft, and there's more guys that are like you, can't get away with that stuff as much. So Jameson Williams, only going to serve 6 games. He'll probably come back, and the team will use him because he's a first-round pick, and the speed's doing really good. For the other ones, man, it just sucks to see they'll probably just hire other guys and let them go, which is really exciting to see. But, I mean, the NFL can't do it. You can't have, especially after the NBA had their gambling scandal and everything, you just can't, especially with how big gambling is now, too. You just can't do it. You can't risk it. So as much as it sucks that these punishments are that big, they just can't. I used to understand. Deshaun only got 12 games, but this guy got a year for gambling. And the more I come around to it, one, yes, those are 2 different situations, but also 2, the NFL has to protect the shield. They can't let people just be gambling all the time, and then that ruin the integrity of the game. Because if they ruin the integrity of the game, then all their deals with all the sports book and everything is probably finished and everything. By the way, I still can't get over that 56 from Jimmy last night. That was something else. If I could spend the whole show talking about Jimmy Butler, I would, but we can't do that, obviously. So the Cardinals came out with their new uniforms. They're kind of boring, honestly. I get the whole color rush theme and you want to keep the colors the same, but first off they do look like Utah's jersey. That meme that's going around by the Cardinals uniforms, very accurate, but man, they're just kind of bland, bro. All red with the Arizona big letters on the red look kind of funky to me. The all black jersey has nothing on it really, no logo, anything other than NFL, and then they have stripes on the side of their jerseys. Oh my, it's not bad. I mean, I've seen worse jerseys, but it's they're just caught I feel like they didn't need to change their jerseys if they're gonna do that. The Cowboys exercised CeeDee Lamb's fifth-year option. Not shocking. Trying to save some money, I bet, and they're just going to see how he does. I'm sure they're going to re-sign him back, so there's no need to make that big news. I think that, I just think he's going to probably end up, if he does anything close to what he's been doing, he's going to get a bag for sure, so there's no worry about that. Like I said last week, Colts Taylor's entering the season without a new deal. He said it wouldn't be a distraction. The Colts are going to re-sign him. It's just going to be a matter of how much money if he accepts it or not, because running back market's not the biggest, so I'm interested to see how much money they're going to give him, especially if they get a young quarterback this year, which makes me think they're probably going to draft one now since they got some guys to pay. We'll see, man. Yeah, it makes me nervous as a fan to know that it just makes me nervous as a fan to know that we might lose my guy. Obviously, that's a real chance. I don't think they will, but there's a chance, and man, would that hurt, because when he came out, I remember the year he got drafted. I can't remember the year, which sucks because of I don't know why. Because I really am happy about this, but he was drafted in the second round. I'm like, he's gonna be the best, probably one of the best picks in that draft. I can't remember what the draft was, but I'm like, that's a steal in the second round. He should have been a first round. I remember saying that. Everyone's like, he's not a steal in the second round. He's been in college for so long, all these miles on his body, and then he just exploded in the NFL, and he's been really good so far. So I'm ready to get him back. I hope the Colts resign him because, man, we need to continue to stay good, please. Mixon, please not guilty for aggravated menacing charge. I feel like I didn't read that right, but I'm just gonna leave it there just in case. It's just that whole thing's going on with him. It's just awful to hear. He's just been having a lot of stuff surrounding him. It's just gonna be interesting to see if the Bengals might move on from him if they draft like Bijan or something and just feel like after all this Joe Mixon they just had enough. We're gonna have to see. Tua consider retirement after sustaining multiple concussions. I don't want to be mean, but no duh. He probably should have. I mean, those were very serious things. I'm glad to see he's playing, and hopefully he'll be healthy, but, man, I don't blame him. He probably should have. The Lions have approached Goff about a new contract. Makes sense. If anything, they'll probably sign him to a 1 or 2 year deal while they look for their guy. Because I think at this point, as much as they love Goff, I think Goff's good enough for them to build all around everywhere else, and I think they're getting to the point here soon where eventually they're going to be turning them eyes on Jared Goff, and everyone's going to be looking at him, and he's going to have to be the one to go. Deshaun Watson's apparently a night and day difference from last year and this year, which I don't think is very shocking. He actually got to play football last year after the first time in a while, so he looked bad. I'm hoping he looks a little better for his sake, but it's not shocking that he looks better. I definitely thought he was going to look pretty bad last year, so I didn't think he was going to look that bad, but I definitely thought he was going to look a little bad, and then this is going to be the big year now. Now that he's had a whole year, he's got everything back, it's going to be interesting how it does. That's probably where... Oh, yeah, and then the Steelers got Allen Robinson. DeMar Hamlin's been cleared for football activities, which is really, really awesome after the scary incident he has. I just remember the day that happened. That was shit, man. You want to talk about something scary, man. That was scary. And then Allen Robinson's going to sign with the Steelers. Decent move. They need a veteran in the room and everything. That's probably where I'm going to end it for today. Massive NBA playoff action. Massive NFL news. The NFL draft is this week as well, and I mean, hey, we're already almost there, man. As a Colts fan, I'm very, very nervous because this is my fanhood we're drafting for like at least 2 or 3 years, I want to say, especially with the quarterback they get. So it makes me really nervous who they're going to get. I don't know who they're going to get still. I've heard rumors if CJ Stroud drops to 4, I'm going to be ecstatic, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about these quarterbacks fully now. And it's like, one of them is going to be mine, so I guess I have to accept it, right? But no, that's probably where we're going to end the episode. Thursday is going to be a lot of, I don't know if there's going to be a story. Like I said, usually I do a story or some type of thing that week where it's like some storyline for the NFL season. I think I'm just going to talk draft talk, honestly. Just probably talk a little bit of the draft, like how I'm feeling that night as a Colts fan, and then just go over some of the other leagues as well, because more playoff games will happen by then. Brooklyn Nets, congrats on them. They swept. First team to make it to the second round. On Thursday, I'm sure I'll talk about a few more NBA teams. But yeah, probably what I'm going to call it today. I'm just probably going to call it. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see everybody on Thursday. Very nervous about the draft, but hey, it's going to be a big draft this Thursday for me and my fellow Colts fans. So I look forward to talking about it with everybody on Thursday.